Hey guys, how's it going? This is David Fidanza right here. This is my first ever video recording for YouTube. I am very happy, very excited to be here. I've never done this before. I've never had another channel, but I love YouTube and I love gaming, so I figured this would be a very good compromise of the two situations. So I started my own gaming commentary video channel on YouTube. So right now what you see is Lord of the Rings Online. This is a very old game, but I've been playing it since the very beginning and I absolutely love it. So I figured the best way to start off this channel is with something old and something I love. Just get a feel for how this is gonna go. So as you can see, I have a bunch of characters sitting around on here, but do not be afraid. I will be starting from scratch on a new one so that you guys can see how things are done. Let's see, what character am I gonna do? Guardians are my favorite all-time characters, classes to play as. Rune Keepers come in close second, and captains are definitely third. Let's see. I don't really play on this character much anymore anyways. And that class is really advanced and complicated. So Lord of the Rings Online recently just had an update for Mordor. They introduced a new race, the High Elf. Ooh, they finally updated this part. Sweet. So this is new, plus 20 maximum morale, plus 60 non-combat morale regen. Plus 60. So this is really good for tanky classes. Plus 1% resistance to disease and poison, which is actually pretty good. Minus 7 fate, minus 7 will. Not too bad, not too shabby. I'll just quickly show you guys the rest of these. For men, you get the Gift of Men, plus 15 fate. Diminishing Mankind, minus 7 will. Plus 5% incoming healing for easily inspired. Strong Men gives you plus 15 might. So this is really good all around class for pretty much any of these that are available right here. High Elf is what I just showed you. The Dwarf, you get Sturdiness, which gives you plus 15 might, plus 10 vitality, plus 1% common mitigation. Stocky, minus 7 agility, minus 7 fate, lost weapon. Oh god. Unwearying in battle, plus 30 to in combat morale and power regen, and minus 60 and minus 30 to outside morale and power regen. So one-handed axes allows the use of one-handed axes. Axes have a small chance of reducing the target's armor. So specifically, these guys can use axes for whatever class that they want to be. So if I were a hunter, I can use an axe. If I were a mini, I could use an axe. For this playthrough, I think I'm going to do a minstrel. I haven't done one in forever, and it's really one of my favorite classes. So minus 7 will, minus 7 fate. This class is actually really good for tanky stuff. Increase morale and morale regeneration times a piece. Your vitality and spirit are renewed more swiftly than those of the younger races of the world. Minus 7 fate, but we can always get that back. So I already have a captain and a champion going, as well as a rune keeper for this class. Now I can either do a minstrel or a guardian. I'm thinking a guardian. Yeah, a guardian. Nah, What should I do? Nah, I'm definitely gonna do a mini. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Mini has 3 different versions, like everything else in this game. You have the DPS mini called the Scald, who does damage by shouting at people, which is a really fun thing to do, and they can do really good damage. However, they are not tanky at all, and their main weapon is an instrument of some sort. As well as their voice, of course. In group situations, more or less, a mini is going to be your healer, dedicated healer, as well as buffer, support group, as well as main DPS. If you have a really good tank, but you can't find a normal DPS class like a champion or anything else like that. However, I would not recommend tanking on this class, because you will die instantly, and all sorts of not fun stuff happens at that point. So that Perforglin, I swear, these names get more and more ridiculous. Let's see, what do I want this character to be named? Let's try that. Yay! First time went through. Okay, let's start it up. Start it up. Are we gonna load? There we go. So this game did have a graphics update come out recently with the new content release that just came out with Mordor and all that. So, excuse me, it's getting a little bit late at night on my end. I've been spending the whole entire day going through scrapping videos because they're way too awkward with what I said and everything else. So hopefully this video will turn out better. If not, at this point, I'm giving up on doing anything better, and I'm just gonna upload it as is and go from there. So, yep. Man, it's been so long since I've played this this class. So long. But I love this game to death. Lord of the Rings is also one of my favorite movies of all time. The series, the new ones as well. Although splitting up The Hobbit into 3 movies was kind of weird, but I liked it. I liked where they went with that. It was, in my opinion, those movies were great in their own right. They're not really a whole lot like the old Lord of the Rings movies, but of course, when you have new equipment, new characters, and everything else on a new storyline, to where you don't have to worry about using old stuff and all that all the fun stuff that goes on with that, it's gonna look different, no matter what you do. Of course, not everybody's going to agree that it's good or whatnot, and for me, it's not even that a matter of that. Of course, it's going to be good. It's Lord of the Rings we're talking about, and the director was pretty phenomenal, doing what he had to do. Let's see, which one do I want? +2 will, +2 vitality, +4 attack bonus, +4 crit. Nope. Weightless hearing, +2 agility, +2 vitality. Let's see what my main stat is again. Pretty sure will is my main stat, but we also want to keep our fate up. And vitality is pretty good. Vitality is good for everybody. If you don't have that, you die really easily. So we want will and fate for most of our equipment. So let's look at this again. +2 will. So seems very obvious what we're going to be going for. Sweet. Alright, let's start this quest. The LOTRO. You seemed as if lost in a trance, and I could not rouse you until this very moment. My dearest friend, do not allow the enemy to cloud your thoughts with visions of defeat. As Sauron surely knows, the mastery is ours in this battle. Alas, a cornered foe is the most deadly, and there are none more treacherous than the enemy in this realm. We must put our troubles behind us for the moment and press our advantage. Let's go see the king. Hello, king. I love the story in this game. Like I said, I've been playing this for years, but this is the first time we've had something like a high elf come on here. The last update that introduced a new class and character was introduced the Beorning. So those of you who know the movie and the lore will, Beorn, Grim Beorn, I think was, no, Beorn was the one in the movies, in The Hobbit. And basically, in the game, you can play as one of his children down the line and continue the legacy of that bloodline and use those powers, which is actually really fun. And I'll probably show you that in another video, because I will be doing videos for all these characters just to introduce them. But for now, let's concentrate on this. Dark Lord gathers strength anew beyond the Black Gate. We must throw down the Moana. Only then shall Sauron himself be forced to atone for the evil he has laid upon our peoples. We must put an end to his evil before. Hello, Ryder. High King, riders approach from beyond the Moranon. It is a message, a meager assemblage, only 9 in number. Might the enemy seek to parley at last? Sauron does not wield his servants as ambassadors. Allow them to ride forth unhindered, but remain on guard. We shall meet them in the field. At last the bearers of the 9 rings reveal themselves. The Shadow Kings, the Gwytharain, they have returned out of the darkness. Come on, LOTRO. It's kind of cool that we're a part of all this. This is the war that began the 3rd age before we moved into the 4th age. The last word before the one with Frodo. In case you were wondering. Third War of the Ring, I think it was, or maybe the second. I'm not sure. I'm not as well versed in the lore as most people are. Let me zoom out a little bit. And I'll be trying to read these all in character. So excuse me if you get any weird voices. If you don't like it, please just tell me either to read normally or not do it at all in the comments below. And I'll try my best to make you guys comfortable. I'm terms, have we assembled so great alliance that your master now seeks to surrender? Sauron the Great speaks not of his surrender, but of yours. Speak then, servant of Sauron. I am no mere servant. You speak to the King of Men and the Lord of the Nazgul. Nazgul, do you no longer speak in your own tongue? You are no king. The ring you bear has seen to that. Silent self-wretch, these are his terms. Celebrimbor crafted 3 rings in mockery of his design. You will surrender them, and swear oaths to never again come before the gates of Mordor. You would be wise indeed to accept his kindness. And if we should accept, what promise can he give that he shall not make war against us? Shall not again make war against us. He offers none. Peace cannot be made with Sauron. Such an offer is merely another of his lies. Now, go now, flee to your master, and tell him that his doom approaches. So be it. Sauron the Great has stayed my hand for the moment, but his patience is nearly ending. It is you and this pitiful host who should flee. For soon no shelter, no matter how well hidden, shall be free from Sauron's dominion. Delathril, let us speak. Yes, sir. Delathril, before the 9 arrived, I sent forth the spears at Lindon, with a garrison of elves and men. With Sauron's demands rejected, we can no longer hold hope that the Gwythain shall stay their hands in this battle. You know the spears as Theleron, Megaril, and Durnay, my friend, and they have stood by my side through many great battles against Sauron and the most terrible of his servants. Ere they depart, they swore to cross the enemy's trenches and dismantle their siege equipment. It is true enough that catapult shot has not hit our position in some time, but the wider front has been brought to ruin by those very tools. You must now be my scout and my messenger. Learn what has become of their garrison, and if any of them yet live, deliver to them a message of hope. The Alliance marches upon the Black Gate, and no man or orc shall stand in the way of our victory over Sauron. Go, my friend, I shall ready the Alliance to advance upon the Mordor. Be swift and safe, Delathril. Alright. Time to get cracking. Where is the enemy? I'm gonna... Where are you running off to, man? Get back here. You would think you would aggro on me, but I guess not. Man, this guy's weak. It's not like the guys in the actual PvP area. Those guys are actually pretty strong, all things considered. Swiftly now, this way. Oh god. The lag! Hello friends. Who wants to speak to me? You do? Hail LOTRO! I am Megarul of Linden. How fares the battles to the north? You tell Megarul of your encounter with the Gwetharain and deliver the High King Gilgalad's message. If we shall truly strike at the Black Gate this day, the Alliance must soon come hither. We did as the High King commanded, and brought the enemy's weapons to ruin. But when the Gwetharain appeared, they slew many of our number, and divided our forces upon the Daggerlap. The faces by which I once knew the Gwetharain when they first took the rings have long faded. But this one I knew by his blade. The Cursed Rider he is called, and he goaded his steed onward over the backs of elf, man, and orc alike. Regrettably, we were forced into a retreat before we could aid many of them from the field of battle. We now struggle to hold the only path over the great trenches, and the enemy's forces have brought forth more trebuchets and ballistae upon the Daggerlap. Aid the wounded in the field, and let us hope that the Alliance shall arrive to drive off the enemy's forces. Yes, ma'am. Durnay. Speak quickly, friend, for our foes surge from the east. You tell Durnay of your encounter with the Gwetharain and deliver the High King's message. The Gwetharain, two of their number passed through our garrison from the north. One rode westward and scattered our numbers, but the other, he took Theleron. In the midst of battle, he cut Theleron's sword arm in a cruel coil of rope, and dragged him eastward by his fell steed. I could not follow through the mass of orcs. I have failed him. I failed the High King. But still, I must fight on. Good man. Off to the rescue of everybody else. Die, die, die. Sing the song of death. I didn't even click on you yet. Die, 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 die. Death. Nope. I hate it when they resist everything. The nice thing about this is that you don't get interrupted when you use these attacks, which is pretty good. Pretty good versus most games that have this mechanic where you can play an instrument to kill enemies and whatnot. It doesn't really work out that way. But again, I really love this game simply because, once again, it's Lord of the Rings. How could you not love it? And it's a game with Lord of the Rings in it. Prince Thranduil lives, but the rider has. Leave me, friend. He is trapped in the veil. Yeah. So did. There is no escape for you. See you now the fate of those who defy my master. The Dark Lord holds no power over me, Wraith. Be my fate sealed or not, my arrow shall fly true. Fool! Wills can be broken, Thranduil of Greenwood, and this blade shall see to that. What is this? The accursed spawn of Ungwaitar. You think to threaten me? Sauron shall not forgive her this time. Stay back. I will leave you in peace for what you have done. Really? Okay, there we go. Kill, kill, kill this really ugly and terrifying spider. Oh, God. Killing spider, a spider, spider, spider. Killing spider, 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 spider. Good lord. The prince is fortunate to have survived his father's attack on the Black Gate, but the Gwathron's words troubled me. The rider spoke a name in Quenya ere he departed. Ungwetari, the Spider Queen. Angolia is gone from this realm, and shall trouble the world no longer. But her children remain, preying on anything they can devour and spreading her darkness through Middle-earth. One among them must now hunger as she did, without a care for the powers of the Dark Lord, and without any purpose other than to consume. These are unhappy tidings, my friend, even if it seems fortuitous that this great spider turned upon the rider. If we do not face this child of Ungoliant in the war, it is certain that the day will come when her hunger shall seek to sate itself beyond the shadows of Mord. The High King gave me leave to pursue you at the urging of the Spears in London, but he has called for your return at once. The Alliance has come to the forward garrison at the last. Reunite with them there, Delathrio, and make ready for your assault on the Black Gate. Glorfindel and I shall tend the prince's wounds. Go now, Delathrio. Yes, sir. Stupid rocks. I really love the story in this game. I never get old of it, tired of it, or anything else. Elrond spoke true. The High King and Elendil have come at last. I am glad to see you again, Delathriel. Durnaith and Megaro have told me of Delaron's capture, and I am troubled by such grim tidings. The Dark Lord would not have soon forgotten the wounds he suffered at our hands, and I fear what form his vengeance might take. Even now, as I wish to abandon my duty, I cannot turn my eyes from the Black Gate at such a crucial hour. Thus, I give you this mission of dire importance. You must find Thalaron, and you must save him from the Gwytharin. As for the Alliance, one of Durin's folk has devised a cunning plan to draw the attention of the Dark Lord's forces, and allow for a swift strike against the Black Gate. In truth, I know not if this plan shall bear fruit, but we must conquer the gate if Sauron is to be defeated. I would ask that you speak to Slegar the Crafty. He is an honorable enough dwarf despite his chosen title. Once you have done as he asks, pursue the Guatharan and rescue Thalaron. Our paths are now divided, my friend, but let us hope each of them leads to victory. May the light of the Valar shine upon us. Yeah. Hello, Slegar. Sleeger. At your service, Galadriel. Or perhaps you are at mine. Have you considered how the enemy's trenches never seem to stop burning? Well, I have. Slegar gestures to the pile of barrels beside him. These barrels are filled with a crude black powder that explodes when exposed to flame. Not only that, but it burns for hours afterward. If it were more useful in stonework, I think Durin himself would have us steal some away. The Dark Lord's Black Riders, the damned ringwraiths as the men call them, are there widely enough. But these goblins are none too bright. They've left the barrels right next to their own ballista and catapults. Why don't you set some of them off? That ought to put an end to their siege and draw their attention long enough for the Alliance to reach the Black Gate. Just make sure you don't stick around once you light them. Alright then. So far, this is one of my all-time favorite character introductions. Simply because you get to be a part of one of the greatest battles of Middle-earth past right at the beginning. And that's not something you would normally be able to do until very late in the game. Can't do no shadow his face. Dead. But not out, fortunately. Kill. Though, I do wish they would remake this at some point. Despite all the advancement in the graphical quality of this game, there's still a lot they could improve with even just the minimal amounts of minimal touches to the game. And that being said, remaking the game would cost a lot of money though. So I would wait if I were standing stone for whatchamacallit. I forget the name of the studio now. It's an offshoot from the main one from Turbine. But either way, they're a really good team. And I like what they do. Ooh, that was a really nice high crit. So, the main purpose of this class is burst damage versus sustained, and as well as healing, burst healing. So, some of the bigger abilities that you get have huge critical hits. Die. Get out of my way. Ah, man. They've done this so well. But LOTRO, can it be? Follow me. Lady Harthelin shall want to speak with you. Lady Harthelin, you have not found Thalaron or Guatharon, but a familiar elf stands before you. LOTRO, I am gladdened by this reunion, but there is little else to celebrate. The High King sent me and my company eastward to learn what had become of the elves of Lorien, but alas, only Prince Amaroth remains upon the field. His father and the others were routed to the north, but where they have gone, we cannot follow. The prince is injured, but he will heal in time. I must ask, though, why have you come? You tell Harthelin of the task given to you by the High King himself, and of Thalaron, the lost spear of Linden taken by one of the Guethrain. Your tale troubles me, for Amaroth spoke of a terrible figure that passed with an elf slung across his steed. Time may grow short for Thalaron, my friend. I think it is time we learned more of what we saw from the prince. That we should. This guy doesn't even get a name over his head. Poor person. Prince Amaroth, can you tell me, my companion, about the rider you saw? As much as I do not wish to recall him, I can. From what you have told me, he was one of the 9 Guethrain, garbed in black and seated atop a great steed. I know not if he still lived, but an elf was slung limply across the Guethron's steed. He lifted aloft a great mace, and with a crack of thunder, his master's statue was toppled. It was then he looked upon me, and what remained beneath his hood sniffed madly at the air. There was sorcery in his gaze, I tell you, for his eyes were as flames in a void. Perhaps he thought me slain, for he then rode on into the hills. No, it cannot be. It can be no other Hithkel. The Witch King has taken Thalaron. Be wary. The men of the east who slew my father have an encampment in the hills, and it is there he must have gone. Thank you, Prince Amaroth. If the men of the east hold the hillside, then we must go by the secret steps. And waiting on you, lady. When my company came to Prince Amaroth's aid, I heard a great cry and a thunder like flapping wings from above. It sounded like some terrible flying creature, as great in size as the eagles. I could not spy it through the smoke, but I am certain it lurked beyond my sight. I do not know if this creature is a servant of Sauron's, but his presence makes me fear all the more of Thalaron. If the Witch King has taken him to the Overlook, we must pass through the Easterling encampment ahead. The men of the East have grown arrogant behind Sauron's might, and they have left a small passage in their encampment open to the winds. Follow me, and we shall sneak in, and avoid the dangers of approaching their gate upon the road. Follow me, Lady Harthelin. If anybody watching this plays Lord of the Rings online, I currently play on the Gladden server in the US. Don't know if any of y'all know it, but I would be more than happy to help you out. Play with you guys and team up. if we ever get the opportunity to. Of course, no trolls, none of that. Stab. Stabby, stabby, stabby. Sing, sing, sing for the death of your enemy. I love that I can just strum a chord and sing at the enemy and they die. Oh, sorry, you were fighting one more? I didn't even notice. Here, help me out a little bit more. I know you're gonna jip out on me. Go, Delathlio. Do not worry for me. See what it says if I examine it. Hello, horsey. The Witch King's steed thrashes wildly at your approach. Well, he's done. About to get my ass kicked by the Witch King. The Witch King, the Witch King. That's the only part about this that doesn't make sense, I guess. For people who are gonna go ahead and say that playing as a high elf is immersion breaking for Lord of the Rings, technically it isn't, because there were a bunch of elves from the last Great War that decided they wanted to stay and prevent Sauron's evil again and help the new races from what was I going to say? Help the new races grow the right way. Something along those lines. But to have so many is a little bit game breaking. I guess that's why they made this part of a viable DLC and not available for regular purchase through the in-game app. In-game store. Blip. Blip, 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 blip. Your fear has left you defenseless. The Elf King will never see him again, for he shall suffer and is more in the dungeons of Barad-dûr. But you, Delathlio, you shall be changed, and you will return to Gil-galad as his greatest foe. Such is the will of Sauron. Suffer now, and rise anew into the realm of the unseen. But, surprise, surprise, I do not become There we go. That part's a bit weird. Can it be? Rest. Lord Elrond, Delathlio has woken at last. Rest easy, my friend. You are safe from harm in Imladris. God, my voice. The wound has healed, but Delathlio remains in the need of rest. Harthelin. Oh, it's Lady Harthelin. Rest well, my friend. I shall return Snore. Snorestown. That's where we shall go. Because I don't give a shit about what you just said, bitch. Do. It brings me great joy to see you upon your feet once more, LOTRO. After you fell, we attempted to heal you upon the battle point, but the Witch King of Angmar had dealt you a grievous injury, one unlike any dealt to our peoples before by the hands of the Dark Lord. The decision, oh my god, this is horrible. I'm sorry guys, I suck at this. I'll get better though, I promise. The decision was made to return you to Emladris, far from the lands of the enemy. You suffered for years in restless agony, as my healers worked to free you of the evils that lingered in your wound. When the war was ended, I returned to aid them and learned much of healing the foul wounds of mortal steel. When at last you could rest, you did so for many long years. Despite my efforts, your strength has diminished greatly. It may take a great time, but I believe you shall again know the power that lies within you. Walk with me, LOTRO. You remember the war as if it were yesterday, do you not? Do you not? You are one of the few that remain in this realm, that I can recall it as I do, my friend. I come here often to reflect on the sacrifices we made in that war. Indeed, Gil-galad and Elendil defeated the Dark Lord, but they did so at the cost of their own lives. The realms of elves and men were thus forever changed, and the world passed into the Third Age. And so it has been for many years now. I do not wish to alarm you, LOTRO, but it is now 3018th year of the Third Age. Even if much else has changed, Emladris is as you remember. You have borne many burdens in your time, my friend, and so I give you leave to depart to the havens if you wish it. There is another here who sustained a terrible wound in the war. Hithgol is his name. Since chance has awoken you today, perhaps he too is healed of the enemy's wounds. See if he has woken from his long rest, and then we shall speak more of your journey to the havens. Despite appearing outwardly healed, Hithgol seems to be in a deep, uneasy slumber. His strength is returning, but he remains in a restless slumber. A few months more, I think. It is unfortunate to hear of Hithgol's continued ills, but I hold hope he shall soon recover as you have, LOTRO. You see, when the battle came at last to Barad-dûr, Sauron himself felled Hithgol with a deadly blow, and it seemed only by the grace of the Valar that he was not at once ended. Even still, the steel of the Dark Lord's weapons rose tainted in much the same way as the blade that pierced you, and he has suffered its effects as you did for many long years. Now, we have spoken enough for the past. Let us let us turn our minds to the days ahead. Much has changed since we last traveled together from Emladris, my friend. It seems now an age of men, and I sense the time of the elves in Middle-earth draws near to its end. Indeed, Many have departed this realm for the uttermost west by the ships of Céladon, our friend of old. He is now called the Shipwright by those who know his works, and he dwells in Mithlond, with the few that still remain in his service as skilled crafters. Much of the wood used by Céladon is ferried to Mithlond by way of the port of Celendon, along the way of arid Lumen, and it is there that you must journey to reach the havens. LOTRO, I have gathered your belongings and a few supplies for your journey. I have set your ring in its case upon the table across the room, and your armor rests in its chest at your bedside. It is still marked from battle, but time has not worn it elsewise. Indeed, the passing of an age has dimmed only our light, and given rise to the shadow in the east. Concerning of such matters, I have also prepared for you a tome of writings on the history of the Third Age thus far. You are free to claim them ere you depart. Why, thank you. Okay. Jeweler's case. Within this ornate box, your eye catches the glimmer of the ring you once wore. Very good, LOTRO. In time, your strength will return. That was horrible. In time, your strength will return, my friend, and the power of your ring shall rise with it. I hope my writings prove to be of use to you as well. I recount much of that time that I passed while your wound healed, but even I cannot be aware of all that has transpired since the end of the Second Age. As for your journey, my sons shall see you to Celendon in the course of their own travels. Eladin and Elrohir are to follow an expedition to the ruins of Edhelion, led by the elf Dorlas on my behalf. Speak not of this to any outside the company, but I had a strange premonition, and in it, amidst a field of blurred visions, a voice rose saying, "Blood-red footsteps upon snow-colored black, where the Tao King walks to take back his throne and finish what was begun." It is a troubling riddle, my friend, and one that I do not think soon solved. Have you any thoughts on its meaning? You hear a muffled creak at the doors. Two thumbs and open, as the doors to Sorry. Oh my god, this sucks. You hear a muffled creak as the doors to Thamsend open. Ah, it is just as well. Such troubles are best left to Dorlas and his expedition. My sons await you by the door to the central courtyard, and when you are ready to depart, they shall guide you to Celendon along the Eldun. May your journey be swift and free of hardship, my friend. Namari. Sweet. Time to gear up. This is the ring that levels us up. +2 will, +2 vitality, +4 attack. Let's see. Let's see. Sweet. Hello, Elro here. So father has at last sent. Oh my god. Whew. I think after this I'm gonna be done. It's pretty tiring speaking all day like this. Not used to it yet, so eventually you won't be hearing me make so many mistakes. Alright. So father has at last given you leave to travel from Imladris to LOTRO. I must say, I am excited to learn more of the battles of ages past from you. Father's told us not to bother you with so many questions, but this is likely our last chance, is it not? I'm certain father has told you all about your journey ahead, but do not worry. The matter of his dream need not trouble you. Besides, the journey to Celendum shall give us time enough to speak on other matters. I would think the events of the past 3,000 years would be of some interest to you. My brother and I stand ready to set out for the heirloom. If you are prepared, we shall depart at once. Good lord. Ugh. Speak right. Am I right? Oh well. Let's see. What do I got here? Ooh. Okay. I'd rather go with Ultima. Okay. Here we go. What else we got going on here? Farmer's Fair. Oh, right. Yeah. I'm probably not going to be doing any of the special events for now. I've never really done them, so mostly because I don't really feel like doing them most of the time. It's just I'm more interested in the story and whatnot. Alright, so I'm gonna end this here. Oh, excuse me. So I hope you guys enjoyed my very first video. This is a very special moment for me. Hopefully this will upload and be on the tube soon. And if you like it, push the like button, subscribe if you want to see more. And I will have a link to my Patreon account page if you guys want to donate. I'm not going to push you guys to do anything like that. Just on your own time. If you like what you see and you want to see more or better quality stuff, just press that like button. Smash it. Let me know that you guys want more. Alright? Y'all have a good night, good day, good whatever the time it is there. I'm out. Peace.